Hello everyone, Teacher here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've just started a new raid, and for that reason I'll be going over something that I know a lot of people ask me in the comment. So if you're ready, let's take a closer look. So what I want to go over, everyone, is glyphs. Glyphs is what I want to talk about because I know many people ask me about glyphs in raids, etc. Also because I'm one who swaps glyphs around. I do that tedious stuff. And since we've just started chapter 1, I actually want to use that as an example for what I'm aiming for. So this is basically a base guideline. They are not optimal maybe based on what I want, but this is like glyphs that I'm using, and then I'm being a little bit specific. So Elrond, if you have someone who has a long-term cooldown in chapter 1 or in any chapter, I go Lembas, and then I go Armor Piercer over Bloodlust because, whoops, hello Bandit, sorry my man, who is sadly ruining my chair right now. Whoop, you wanna come up and say hi? Mm. Mm. So, yeah, here we go. So, yeah, he wants some attention after I've been at work. So what happens is that I was saying, if you have someone with a long cooldown, like Mary Haste, for instance, then Alembus would be a good mindset for actually having your chapter 1, but also the other chapters, and he wants some snacks, so yeah. Let me just go and give him that, and then I'll be right back. And with that little attention guy out of the way, we are now, hopefully, we are now going at it again. So, Lembas, if you have something with a long cooldown that's really vital, like a haste, for instance. Other than that, for someone like Ironhide or etc., you could do some Bloodlust maybe. But let's move on to the next ones. So, if I were to do this ideally for a chapter 1 and chapter 3, etc. Maybe not so much chapter 3, but especially chapter 1, where there are skull crushers, which is the bane. I would have done last stand here, and what I would go for is down below. I would go for some health, because this is a DPS, and he does good amount of damage. I would do 2 health, maybe 1 damage, or armor. But that's what I would do if I were doing it optimal. But since this is glyphs that I use everywhere, I'm going like this. So last stand with armor piercer and go for some health. So we have a higher chance of not getting it procced. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment after we've gone through this. Like here, Elladan, the the glyphs aren't optimal for, like, this is just base. Like here you can see I have a health. Let's actually just upgrade it. Ooh, block chance, not bad. So, you know what, since we're going at it. Okay, yeah, well, that really sucked. But anyways, this now has some more health for him, so last stand means it takes a little bit longer to trigger, which is really nice for that turn meter. You don't want it triggering after the first swipe. This is advice for those of you who are considering punching up into a difficulty 4, because the Skull Crusher is massive damage in difficulty 4 compared to difficulty 3. So I do focus here because I know I'm gonna be using this in chapter 2, so yeah, I haven't swapped it around. Saves me some time and some gold there. Arwen, again, I would do health down here, so overall last stand glyphs with health are pretty nice. Armor, damage, resistance, there's a lot of different stuff, take your pick. Here I have focus, I have some damage, and I have damage, so again, I'm not doing the optimal ones, and I just did with my full Rivendell basically 1000 below a 1.4, and I'm just checking if Bandit is nearby. So, yeah. Again, if I really wanted to do it optimal, I would go for and find glyphs like that with perfect stats, but focus and some damage is also very nice. She does more damage than people expect. My Lomian, building like this, maybe he is the best example. Okay, so I have resistance here. I actually have, okay, that's good to know that I have resistance glyphs down here. And then I did an armor because I didn't have any health available for my Bloodlust, and I didn't really want to swap last stand around. This is where I say it, and Okay, so I did have one here I could have upgraded if I really wanted to, but I just went with a level 8. So the glyphs for chapter 1 is basically teams that I want to punch up into that aren't fully built. I would prioritize health glyphs because the Skull Crusher really hits you hard. Um, and if they are soft in their armor, I would actually also give them some armor just so they get up there. Because you don't really want to worry about the damage, you want to worry about being able to survive in chapter 1. So for chapter 2, I would probably go armor piercer and I would do I would do focus on those that needs to land a bane. That is for basically every difficulty, but especially after you can punch up into a difficulty 4. And then you would want crit, obviously, down here. And you would want damage. Like, you would want damage on the damage dealers. Basically, pure and simple. And personally, for me, I would go with crit chance over any crit damage, because crit chance means when you crit and there's a bane, then you remove one of the momentum stacks. So I know this is something probably that Sovereign does. He has, I think, a fully built out Lomian, and getting a lot of crit chance through this could be a really nice way of actually getting stuff done. So especially also with might, and if you get a deadly on, like let's say you have a deadly, that's 30% plus a 10% just for that one, so that's 40, and then you have some crit chance through everything, then you can get a very high crit chance. So I think that's what I would do with if I did a full Rivendell team, which I am doing, and I would push into 1.5 territory, maybe even higher, but I would do that. And then yeah, again, a lot of focus here for chapter 2, for instance. Let's go over and show you who I would use as an example. You might have guessed it. What's up, my little man? I would use the dwarves as an example. Hey, oops, sorry for that. Just someone standing on the floor wanting some attention. So Thorn, good example. His banes are really key at landing, so you would want to focus on him. Same with Keely, same with Bombur, and with Bombur, I would do an armored lift, honestly, because if we just take a look here, you can see he is so squishy. Obviously, this will change as he gets higher star ranked. For now, I would say at least 2 focus, so I have a pretty nice chance of landing anything. If you could, again, I didn't really wail on him because I didn't want to do it at the time. I just spent a lot of gems for the goblins, so but if I had done that, I would have put him at gear 9, even at 5-star, and then do maybe, yeah, 2 focus again. But at later point down the line, maybe you can do 1 focus lift because you also have an armor up here. So, but yeah, focus is really key for someone like him who has so much to land. And then for chapter 1, instead of maybe landing the focus, like focus would be nice for the slow, but you could also go with health. I would probably try that. If I had the final materials, I'm having my one last guild energy ready for the day, and I'm hoping I get the last 12 there, and then I will make this ability level 6. Hey, my man. And then I will push. I'll see if I can do a difficulty 4 with that, but he is squishy. He can gain some health and everything on the Thorn, so we'll see what happens. Hello, here we go. Sorry for that, someone just came by. Yeah, he is he's snack hungry today, I think. And here we go. He found the bag. He is a clever little guy. Not so little, but still. There we go. So that's for chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 2, you really want some focus. Chapter 3, you would want a lot of resistance, honestly. You would also not really want so much health, but I would say actually resistance for your tank. Then health for everyone else. Of course, that's really nice. Surviving, because that's all it's about. And then your damage dealers, you would actually want damage so you can help getting some kills if you have something like Helicopter, Eladin, who is having a lot of resistance, and then getting some kills here and there, because you can actually still get kills in difficulty 4. Chapter 4, yeah, I meant difficulty 4, and I meant difficulty 4 in chapter 3. Chapter 4, you actually just want to be able to stay alive, do a lot of damage, honestly. So damage deals, you go damage there. And if you have 1 or 2 tanks, good amount of resistance. Someone like, I'll show you my example, because even in difficulty 3, he can actually resist. That is my Boromir. And let me just put up his resistance, 2.2. I don't remember if I do, yeah, I think I tried to get some resistance glyphs on him, and that means he can gain a fortitude here. So anyone with fortitude, that would include your Sam. It would also just include general elf team, because you get that through Elrond leadership if you have max, I believe. We can go back and check that. But that is something you would want, because people are trying around the resistance on that, and I hear whisperings and rumblings that resistance is actually working okay. He's finally settled down. Okay, so yeah, you can actually get it here. So that is technically free to play. So if you go that resistance route, you could do that. Would probably help you in a chapter 4. But overall, someone like Slow, you would actually really want that in basically every single chapter. But again, it's all about surviving, because a member isn't any good for you if they're dead. So the only thing that's good in death state is Dol Guldur with binding. So yeah. Also, my Bomber finally got gear 8. I'll probably do him gear 9 in the future, but I need candles. I need purple candles. I really want that to come a sales offer. But yeah, that was basically just a quick overview. I want to actually just talk about my Haradrim, because they are going to be heading into difficulty 4 soon in chapter 1. So honestly, what I would aim for is health on all the members, and last stand with some armor piercer probably. So, but if we look at them, like here, I get the Elrond glyphs, so that's okay. What do I actually have on here? Is that a health glyph? Why do I have a health glyph on? Why don't I have? Oh, it's because I have an armor piercer with health on Elrond, and that is what causes that. Always good to check that out. Get a little bit more focus, a little bit more damage, but here I get armor, so yeah, that's why. So I actually should swap it around. But anyways, she doesn't take glyphs from anyone else. You have to. Again, pretty okay health here, so he's not the main issue. The main issue is this one actually. 2 health and an armor, if I could get away with it. I don't really look at it that much, but that is the mindset that I go in with and try to find when I put on my glyphs, so everyone would have at least 40k and then try to survive. If you didn't know this, with Haradrim, for those who are between 2 difficulties, like maybe you can do difficulty 2 and you're struggling a little bit with difficulty 3 because you need the speed or you have trouble with a double bomber, Begaloo is actually your guide to that, because if you can do some Black Serpent poison, which you can inflict, otherwise I think normal poison as well, I'll test that later. And whoops, hey, hello. I don't have anything for you, but yeah, okay. Okay, so maybe I did have something. What I wanted to say, and I'll finish this because I also have to eat my dinner, or have to make it first. Poison stacks, if you have 2 poison stacks when the bomber takes its turn, then you will actually, like, let's say it has gone into Don't Rush Me and it has 2 poison stacks. If you get it to 3 stacks of then Don't Rush Me, then the poison will tick 2 times. So the amount of poison will do that for you. I don't think I ever really mentioned this before, but I know many people have mentioned it, and I've just been, after my accident last week, which I'm still doing fine from, it has been a lot more on my mind, and also I got difficulty 4 last time done, so I'll try and test that more tonight if I have the time for it. But yeah, that was basically Glyph overview for pretty much every chapter, no matter what squad you're running. Do last stand until they show anything, and then you can take it from there. Last stand, bloodlust gives you a good all around. If you don't do bloodlust, then level some armor piercers. And remember, primary is really nice, and then secondaries are just a bonus. So if you are thinking, I want to save for the perfect secondaries, don't do that. Get some level 8 glyphs at least for a team, swap it around, or don't, but at least always slap level 5 glyphs on. Do that, and it will help you quite a bit. Like sometimes I do just level 5 glyphs on certain teams, and then a little bit RNG gets me 900k in difficulty 1, for instance. Like I'll show my road to Rivendell, which honestly, they can do it without glyphs, but with glyphs they are pretty much moonwalking it. As you can see here, they should be able to do it. They're a little bit below difficulty when they actually do go in and do raid, but let's just take a look. And let's see, what does the difficulty 3 require? So yeah, without glyphs they're a little bit below the power, and with glyphs they're, I think, still below the power, but they're closer, and that means they can do it. So always make sure you glyph up, even if you just have leftovers, just do it. So yeah, that was a little bit my mindset for glyphs for the different chapters. Again, hope you stuck through until the very end and siphoned through everything and the bandit interruptions. And maybe it will give you a good idea for what to do with glyphs. Again, I'm feeling better every day, so expect more videos, despite some people thinking this game is dead. It isn't, just CG are very, very slow, and like everyone else, I am also very disappointed that we don't have updates. But let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about this quick walkthrough about overall my Glyph mentality for when I go into raids, and consider dropping a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next video.